Most people think that the reason they get ignored in meetings is because they are not confident enough, or they are not loud enough, or they are not senior enough. But that is almost never the real reason. The real reason is that your delivery does not reflect your substance. You can be the smartest person in the room and still be ignored. And you can be the least technical person in the room and be the leader. You can be brilliant on the inside and completely invisible on the outside. I'm sure you have seen people like that. We all start our careers with great ambition. We often have the right degrees and the right skills. We believe we will be leaders who command attention and respect. But we all can recall that first meeting or workshop or interaction when our ideas were sidelined, or no one wanted to listen to us, when we effectively were ignored. We became invisible. And what happens? Our confidence falls, and we find it harder to master the courage to speak up again. And sometimes colleagues or clients challenge us by asking progressively harder and harder questions, and we don't know how to manage the barrage of questions. We don't know how to communicate and lead when we lack subject matter knowledge. We often respond by trying to become an expert in one area, hoping never to be at a loss for words. And this means we are never at a loss for words on one narrow subject, but we never build the skills to speak across all topics. We become specialists, and as a result, we lose out on general management and executive roles. And eventually, many people realize that their careers are trapped, and we may be stuck in this one role forever. We respond by working harder and hoping to be smarter to gain respect, and often nothing changes. We meander through our careers, often blaming managers, colleagues, company culture. We sometimes belittle the capabilities of colleagues who may not be as experienced as us, but they know how to communicate. And we often become bitter, and resentment builds. And to be a great communicator, you need to have both substance and ability to deliver it. And there is an old anonymous poem I love that explains this perfectly. A lion met a tiger as they drank beside the pool. Said the tiger, "Tell me why you are roaring like a fool." "That's not foolish," said the lion, with a twinkle in his eyes. "They call me king of all the beasts because I advertise." A rabbit heard them talking and ran home like a streak. He thought he would try the lion's plan, but his roar was just as quick. A fox who happened on the scene had a fine lunch in the woods. The moral? When you advertise, just be sure you have got the goods. It does not have to be this way though. You can change this. And what is needed is you want to build your professional and personal brand. You have to think of yourself as a brand. You want to be better at holding the attention of the room. You want to raise the ceiling of what is possible for you. You want to feel comfortable in your own skin when you're speaking. You want to be respected and you want to be influential, but you need to make sure you have got the goods as well to be successful in advertising the goods. You may have ideas that will get meaningful results, and I know you do because only that kind of person will be watching this right now. And then at the same time, it's important to remember that no matter how brilliant you are, how great your ideas are, you will be ignored in most situations if your communication skills are weak. That is just how the world works. I'm sure you have seen many people who are not really bringing anything to the table, but because they have strong communication skills, because they can roar, they know how to advertise, like in the poem, they are more successful than people who actually have substance. And the way you can think about it is your ability to succeed is never greater than your communication skills, the strength of your communication skills. Let's say you can have 0 to 100% of substance and 0 to 100% of the level of your communication skills and executive presence. If you have 100% of substance, but you only have 5% when it comes to your communication skills, what people will see is 5% in terms of your value. Your level of substance is invisible if it's not aligned with that similar level of communication skills. If you are brilliant, your level of substance is 95% out of 100 in your particular field, and your communication skills are at a 50% compared to your competition, then all people will see is 50%. It's obviously not exact science, but it helps you to understand that you have to have both. You have to continue developing yourself as an expert. And that is something I continue doing. I continuously, every day, invest in substance, but I also invest in my ability to communicate. And if I did not have the piece of building my communication skills, then no one would know about the substance. So think about it this way. You have to have both. You can develop both. There are resources that we provide, free resources and paid much more powerful resources for those who are ready for those. You have everything to succeed. You just need to have an intention, diligence, and just take responsibility for yourself and do what it takes to develop the skills, develop the significant level of substance in your field, and develop very strong communication skills, and you will succeed. Because most people will not invest. And a lot of people who are just gifted in having good communication skills, but don't have substance, they also eventually will fail. Because people can see that it is like an empty vase. It looks good, but there's nothing inside. And I'm sure you came across people like that. You want to have both. To have a successful career, you have to have both. You can also get some of the reasons why people may be ignoring you. You can get it at firmsconsulting.com/own the room. That is a download that we prepared as a gift, and it is based on a program I created for our members on specific reasons why leaders are ignored.